What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Vespertine Gamescast. I'm your host, Derek Kitch. Each week we come to you and we talk about news of the week for gaming, also bring you a topic of the week and what we've been playing ourselves. To my right here, we have Zachary Waller.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, of course. And to my left, we have Kelson Rossback. I almost said Zach again.
Well, we can just have two Zachs. I'm cool with that.
All right, your nickname is now Zach.
Gotcha.
What's my nickname?
Zachary.
Okay.
There we go.
This is episode 2.
It is.
We've come a long way.
Dose.
Guaranteed to be in the top half of our best shows ever.
I like that. Man.
For at least a week.
Yes. Actually, that might not be mathematically correct.
Ooh.
But anyway.
So we're going to start off with what we've been playing the past week. Zach, you want to kick us off?
No.
All right, Kelson.
Well, I'm playing the same thing I was playing last week. It's still Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney, Spirit of Justice, the 6th game in the series. Still great. Haven't had as much time to dig into it as I've wanted to yet, but I'm still enjoying myself.
Not bad, not bad. And that's all you've been playing, is that? Or...
Yeah, I haven't had the time to play anything else. It's been a busy week.
Yeah, all right.
How does it compare thus far to the rest of the series?
Oh,
it's
got him.
yeah, that is
It's a trap question.
You activated my trap card.
It's really good. I'm really enjoying seeing some of the characters that were introduced in the 5th game. They brought back one of the characters who's been gone since the 3rd game, so it's always good to see someone old coming back. Unfortunately, I'm not really enjoying the character of the prosecutor, which who's always your... if you're not familiar with the series, you're always playing a defense attorney. The prosecutor is always your antagonist. So, but in more recent games, it's been sort of a respectful relationship between the two.
Took the Pokemon route.
Like
the friendly rival.
Not friendly. It's still very aggressive, but you can sense a respect in the dialogue, and this and everyone's really trying to get to the truth, make sure that the right person is convicted. But the most recent prosecutor doesn't seem to have that same respect for the defense attorneys. In fact, explicitly has no respect for the defense attorneys, and has he seems to want real justice for the victim, but he always has it very firmly in his head. No matter what you do, he's never convinced. He always assumes the accused is the guilty party. Huh. And I'm not enjoying that as much as I have the others, but he is the antagonist, so you're not necessarily supposed to like him.
True story.
Not bad, not bad. Zachary, what do you got for us?
I have multiple games to talk about. I played some more of Tukaiden Kiwami on PS4. I mentioned it last week. It's one of those those hunting games, as people have called them.
Monster Hunter.
Yeah, Monster Hunter and God Eater.
Gotcha.
This one is from Koei Tecmo. Like I talked about last week, action RPG. Go out, mission, kill giant monster, collect the loot, come back, craft some cool shit, go out and kill some more. Basically all there is to it, really. There is a story about killing Oni in Japanese folklore, as I mentioned last week, and it's pretty good. I enjoy it. I don't think I'll finish it. Really grindy. But I'm glad I gave this game a chance. I feel like I finally understand why these games are a thing and why they're so popular and resonate with people. So I'm happy I played it. I still hang on to it. I'm still going to play it a bit here and there, but I don't see myself diving into it to any great extent. Yeah. From there, I played Bound on PS4. It's from developers Plastic, the creators of Datora and Linger in Shadows. Is the other game they made, gentlemen? You don't know?
Drawing blank.
Yeah. Let's say yes.
It was a collaboration with Sony Santa Monica, the guys who have helped out with their external department with games like Journey and stuff like that. And it's a very artistic game. Incredible visual style and art direction. It's all polygons and stuff, and you play as a ballerina, kind of in a simplistic 3D platformer. But there's a lot more to the game in terms of narrative and what's really going on and the significance of what you're seeing in it. It's a very Journey and Abzu-esque game. I haven't played Abzu all the way. All I played was a demo. But it's not as good as Journey, but I still think it's a pretty enjoyable experience, and I highly recommend it. And from there, I moved on and tried Ollie Ollie 2, Welcome to Ollie World.
Oh, hell yes. I love that game.
Dude, it is not noob friendly.
No, not at all.
I spent like an hour and a half playing it the other night, and I just I feel like as soon as I start to get it, I start fucking up again. You know what I mean? The controls causing you give me kind of weird looks. Let me explain.
Yeah, I haven't heard of this game.
Ollie Ollie 2 is like a 2D skateboarding game. Where the whole point is to kind of master each course, master your tricks, and just kind of execute flawlessly in the best of your ability. But the thing here is you control your moves and your tricks with the left stick.
Okay.
At least on a traditional gaming pad, and so it's tricky. Like you're skating along, you double press X, kind of get your speed going, and then like you have like a staircase coming up or a grind rail coming up. You will flick and move the stick in various directions to execute your move, and then like as you land on the grinder, you have to like tilt the stick in a direction to do a different type of grind, and as you get off of stuff and you land, you have to time like X to press again, or you'll mess up your landing and you won't get any points. And it's like super fast, it's super responsive, and but the thing is, like I said, it's kind of tricky for newcomers because manipulating the control stick like that to do all the different moves and such, you need to be quick, you need to be pretty much flawless, and it's a hell of a lot of fun, but man, it takes a while for it to kind of click. It's the type of control that I recognize is brilliant because once you master it, I can just picture it being so second nature, kind of like the dual control sticks control scheme in NBA 2K. But man, I felt like a noob, like an NOOB noob playing that game. I was enjoying it though, so I'll probably get back to it. We'll see. But I've been itching to give that a try for a while now, so I'm glad I finally did.
I would like to play that with you. I dove into that a while back and it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, I only got into like the third stage. I mean, I can clear stages, but like I want to do better than just clear the stage. I'm sure you know what I mean.
Yeah, I got you.
Oh, yeah.
I'm glad you enjoyed it, though. I didn't know I know you'd played it. I know to what extent.
Yeah.
I have one more.
Damn.
I played a little bit of Fat Princess Adventures, another Santa Monica collaboration. This one is from Fun Bits Interactive. And dude, it's like Diablo Light. It's like a simplified Diablo.
That's awesome.
With like a goofy art style, like these really goofy cartoon characters, but like you murder them and there's like blood everywhere and stuff like that. It's a lot of fun. A little bit of loot grindy. Like you said, you kind of like the top-down view, and like I said, it's like a simplistic Diablo. You can play up to 4 players, local and online, and I enjoy it. I don't think I'll marathon it, but it's a good game to load up if I want to play something nice and simple, but still fun and enjoyable. Sure. I think I would like to play with you gentlemen actually sometime. I think it'd be quite fun. It's clearly built with local multiplayer in mind.
I'm down.
And then finally, I haven't started it yet. But after work today, before coming over, I picked up my copy of Mafia 3.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, why do you say, oh, boy?
No, I was talking about that with a gentleman at work today.
They didn't release reviews for the game yet, but I've been following it for a while. I've been intrigued by the style of the game, the music. And I mean, you can gun down KKK in this shit.
That's always nice.
But basically, it's a third-person open-world action game. It looks like a 2K's attempt at a Grand Theft Auto style game. I've been reading a shit ton of impressions online in NeoGAF and on Twitter, and people are saying like the gameplay and the open world are all solid, not remarkable, but all solid. But the thing about it is the story, the setting, and the writing are drawing universal acclaim.
Wow.
Like they're comparing it to like Uncharted and like Witcher levels of storytelling.
Whoa.
And performances. And like I'm not
pretty high praise.
And I'm seeing this from forum posters. I'm seeing it from high profile journalists like Marty Sleva who's reviewing it for IGN.com, praising the presentation.
Wow. And
so I'm eager to dive in and check this out over the weekend. Yeah, we don't have a video right here, but I have my copy right here. 2K Games, first game actually from Hangar 13, their big new AAA development house. This actually is built in an old Air Force hangar. Fun fact.
Sweet. Are they hiring?
Probably. They hired a bunch of people from LucasArts after that shut down a couple years ago.
Cool.
No, so that's what I've been playing and what I'm going to play this weekend.
All right, and then
Durka.
for myself, dove into FIFA 17, the Journey mode. It's a lot of fun. Caught me off guard with how like the presentation kind of blew me away.
Is it like actually good?
Yeah.
Or is it like super cheesy?
I mean, so far it's been really good in my opinion.
Is Journey mode like a career mode type thing? Or?
Kind of. It's like in FIFA games, you already have like your little career mode where you can like make yourself and then pick your team and go play. But like you're playing as this kid named Alex Hunter, and like you play his journey through the ranks in the Premier League.
Do you make choices? Do you is there a strict narrative?
A little bit of both.
Yeah.
So far, what I've been playing, you get to pick which. Well, it asks you your favorite Premier League team, and then from there you start off as like a little 11-year-old kid, like in the.
That is realistic.
Yeah. You only play for like a little bit as a kid, but after that you go on to the academy, and that's how it kind of bases your skills and how you play the game.
Oh, so like there are like test games that affect your stats?
Like there's like a couple like little test mini game drills you do, and then you play an actual match.
That's really cool.
In the academy, and then you have to finish like in the top 10 per se, or you don't graduate from the academy to get your pro contract.
And can you imagine that being like a real school? Only the top 10% graduates from our university every year.
Oh man.
No, like the academy had, I want to say 25, 30 players maybe, and you had to be in the top 10 players.
Oh, top 10 players.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
so
I guess that's still
50%, top 30%.
Yeah, I interpreted it as 10%.
Okay.
Still.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That sounds cool.
It's pretty. So far, it's been pretty deep and fun.
Like, how's the acting? Because I know there's cutscenes. Is it like an ABC Family, or is it like super? Because I know the recent NBA 2K games have had story-focused career modes, and they've been horrible, dog shit. Good ideas, very bad execution. At least in my opinion, especially terrible acting, writing.
Well, yeah, I wasn't expecting like Uncharted level presentation.
Yeah, that's
but
for the best.
It's still, in my opinion, it's very good.
Okay.
It's set like you're in Europe, so it's got all British actors and stuff. So
I thought about it. I almost channeled the spirit of Greg Miller.
Oh, that's awesome. No, but yeah, I'm sure if your average Joe Schmo American dude was sitting there playing this, he probably would be like, "Man, these voices are dumb. What is it like?" He probably wouldn't be playing FIFA to begin with.
Now there's a burning question in all of us.
What is it?
What team are you on?
Oh, well, I don't follow the Premier League like super hardcore like some of my other buddies do, but I chose Arsenal.
Okay.
I follow more German football, German soccer.
So you do pick the club that you want to join.
Yeah, you say that's like your favorite club when you start at the beginning. So like in the cutscenes in your bedroom, you have posters of that club and stuff.
Oh, that's kind of nifty.
Yeah. And then actually, I haven't made it. I graduated from the academy and got my pro contract, but I haven't like gone from there yet.
Huh. It sounds cool.
Yeah.
I like when they add that kind of coming up through the ranks to career modes. That's a lot of fun. Like in MLB, the show.
Yeah, Road to the Show.
Double, triple A
not
baseball.
Exactly like that because you're not playing as Zach Waller.
Yeah.
Like you're playing a story as.
Yeah, you can't really have a story with a fill in the blank character. You kind of have to have something there.
Exactly.
But WWE 2K team, take notes.
Specifically, that's Ukes. Ukes is the developer, and they've been making those games for like 15 years.
Team, are they still called Ukes, or are they now the team?
They're still Ukes.
They're still Ukes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ukes, take notes.
And they clearly don't put in a lot of effort. Sorry, Ukes.
Notes.
Are you going to get 2K17?
Maybe. I haven't decided. I won't be paying full price for it.
I really do not want to get that game, but that roster looks so freaking good.
What if y'all pool money?
To get one copy?
Shared it and got one copy.
I don't know.
We could get that copy to be the official copy of the Tap That
Of
Wrestling
Vespertine.
podcast.
That'd be awesome.
Or
You could have a
Studios,
you could
however
have
you want to do it.
you could have a topic there, man.
Oh, goodness.
One quick thing, I kind of don't like how you pick your club. Like I think it'd be more interesting, like if you tried out for teams and then the team that wanted you picked you.
Like you go through the academy and then certain teams offer you contracts and you get to pick. That would be kind of cool. Yeah.
That's kind of how 2K does. NBA 2K does it. Like you go through the draft.
Okay.
I like that. So like, and you have like your little showcases in college and stuff like that, and then they pick you. So I kind of like the whole. Even if you go to a team you don't like, I kind of like the natural feel of it.
Yeah, that would be a pretty good idea. I don't necessarily mind the whole picking your club thing because soccer's a little different. Like when contracts expire, like they just leave. Or I don't know. It's really weird. There's no salary cap and stuff.
Yeah, you told me that before.
It's crazy.
Good God.
Yeah.
Good God.
Oh yeah, we were talking about what we're playing.
FIFA.
Yeah, I played a little FIFA. Iron Banner came out for Destiny, so I hopped in that, dabbled a little bit. And I'm going to finish Mirror's Edge this weekend. Mirror's Edge Catalyst, I should say. And Tomb Raider.
Oh, Rise of the Tomb Raider.
Yeah, Rise of the Tomb Raider comes out next Tuesday, day after my birthday.
Really?
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Derek.
Oh, thank you.
Happy
Thank
birthday.
You. Happy early birthday to me.
Why am I the only one clapping? Kelsey?
I'll clap.
Yeah, clap for me, baby. Right now. No, yeah, I'm gonna be playing that when that comes out next Tuesday. So.
Stellar.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
So now we're gonna move on to our news for the
News.
week. What do we got, Zachary?
It was initially a tiny list, and then we delayed our recording of this podcast from, and so there are a couple things. I'm gonna start kind of work from the not least interesting, but kind of like the smaller stories, and kind of work up to the bigger, more interesting ones. Save the best for last.
So this is the part you can skip 5 minutes ahead and get the more interesting stuff.
But upside down pyramid here. Number 1, Xbox One sales skyrocket in the UK.
Because
I like your face there.
Yeah, is there
is there
some
certain piece
sort
of
of
software?
catalyst?
Xbox One S and the various bundles
Okay.
they've been shipping out there.
All right.
Since Microsoft released the Xbox One S model in August, sales are up significantly in major markets such as the UK. According to MCVUK.com, sales of the Xbox One for the week ending September 24th represented 71% of the console market and represented a week-on-week increase from last year of nearly 1,000%.
Wow. Congratulations, Microsoft.
Yeah, that's big time.
And it was outselling the PS4 Slim model in the UK the week of launch by 361%.
So
They had
about
a pretty-
3.5 to 1.
Yeah, they had a pretty quiet launch. Like they announced it at their little PlayStation event in New York.
Oh, the
on the
Slim,
7th.
yeah.
And then they said, all right, it's coming out this date. And then that's it.
And I just want to go ahead and dispel the myth the Xbox One has been doing badly up to this point. Like, it's because the PS4 has just been doing so well, it looks bad in comparison. But the Xbox One, even prior to the S, was still ahead of the Xbox 360 by like 40-50% in their respective this time in their respective life cycles. The Xbox One S, Xbox One has been doing very well.
Oh man,
it's all perception.
Console gaming's dead.
Yeah, console gaming is dead. And I interpret this as a lot of people who have been looking for an opportunity to jump in as jumping in.
Mm-hmm.
And the Xbox does have an impressive lineup of software for this holiday. Forza, Gears of War, Dead Rising. So I think it's a good time to jump in. Kelson, any thoughts?
I'm happy. Like I'm not and I've never owned an Xbox system, but whenever any product and company does well, that's a good sign for the gaming industry in general. That means they can invest in new software. So congratulations, and let's keep seeing this.
Rising tide brings up all ships.
Yes.
Why can't everybody think like that?
Number 2, I think we're all going to kind of meh at this one. Sorry, guys. First-person shooter Battleborn from publisher 2K Games and developer Gearbox is supposedly going free to play in the next few months. Kotaku reported this news and claims a proper announcement may be coming soon. The pricing model change is due to the game's poor sales since launch in May. Head of Gearbox Randy Pritchford responded to the rumor on Twitter saying, quote, "There are no plans to convert Battleborn free-to-play." But he followed that up by essentially confirming that it is going free-to-play. He said, "We have some unannounced plans to do a trial version of the game that would be free and from which retail can be purchased along with DLC." Next, he said free trial plans are not firm yet, months away. Expect great continued support and awesome lineup of DLC.
Man. Like
So, yeah.
I mean, I can't even, I'm trying to think of that some impact, some meaning, some... Battleborn didn't do as well as they wanted it to. No. Sorry, Battleborn.
No.
Overwatch became a thing. And
yeah, do you remember at PSX last year?
Yeah.
How massive the lines were?
The line for Battleborn was huge. The line for all of the AAA games were huge. There were only like 8 there, but still. I think people were really curious about it because people were like not feeling it forever, and then they had an opportunity to try it. And, you know. And from all everything I've heard, it's not a bad game at all. It's just very average, and that doesn't really cut it anymore, especially in the same month that Overwatch came out, which is a very similar game. And that's no disrespect to Gearbox. I like Borderlands a lot.
Me too.
Yes, Borderlands 2, good game.
Hurry up and make Borderlands 3, Gearbox. Make all that money. All right. Number 3, courtesy of IGN.com, written by Wesley Copeland. Pokemon Go launch suffered because it had 50 times more traffic than expected.
How can you release something like that and not expect gazillions of people to play that?
Pretty much what I'm thinking.
Nostalgia of death.
But think about it this way: if I'm trying to estimate how many people are going to play a Pokemon game that I'm making, I'm going to look at the numbers of past Pokemon games. And since it is, in fact, a spin-off, I might focus more on those. But so many people who haven't been playing Pokemon games, who haven't been playing the Pokemon spin-off games, played Pokemon Go. That could be where their numbers went off.
I'm just sitting here thinking, how the hell do you not expect the free mobile Pokemon augmented reality game to be popular? How? There's a little bit of information here. Luke Stone, Google's director of consumer reliability engineering, say that 5 times fast, said that within 15 minutes of Pokemon Go launching in Australia and New Zealand, the traffic passed Niantic's initial predictions. I think the more we learn about Pokemon Go, the more Niantic proves how they were not cut out for this project. No offense to Niantic, but you guys greatly underestimated a lot of things here. You're misreading a lot of the tea leaves.
To be fair, if it performed 50 times, if the crowds were 50 times as big as they expected, they could have still expected massive crowds. The number who played that game was super insane, mega
tens of millions, tens of millions easily.
So yeah, they could potentially still have been expecting millions.
They had a graph I didn't really take a look at, but I'm just thinking I just think you should have known better than to expect that little traffic on a free-to-play mobile Pokemon game that uses your camera in real life.
Yeah.
Touche.
Maybe they were looking at the sales of Invisimals. Old wounds. Number 4, Spirit. This is a big one for me, guys. Spiritual successor to Banjo-Kazooie Yooka-Laylee is getting a physical release.
Would it only have been
digital only?
Right. If it had been digital only, would you have not gotten it?
Oh, I would have gotten it. I love digital. I think this is cool because this is one of my most anticipated games, and it looks like a very awesome, hearty game. Previews coming out at E3 and Gamescom were extraordinary, and looks like an epic nostalgia trip. And there aren't enough good 3D platformers anymore. There are barely any in general.
Fair enough.
And so, yeah, that's pretty nifty. Number 5, NIS America has announced Danganronpa 1-2 Reload for PlayStation 4 coming to North America and Europe in early 2017.
Yes!
Kelson, take it away.
Oh, I'm so pumped! I have already played both these games. I still have both these games because I got them through Steam, so I have them on whatever computer I want to have them on, but... Dear Lord, I'm going to play these again on PS4 just because I can. I will give Spike Chunsoft my money one more time, more than one more time, let's be honest, but one more time for these games I've already played.
Trophies, man.
Trophies!
Now you're my trophies. I had a hunch that they might do this because the next Danganronpa game was confirmed for PS4, and it's such a story-driven series. This makes a lot of sense.
That's true. It wouldn't make sense to try to introduce a new Danganronpa game to a new audience without giving them the opportunity to play the old ones.
A little bit of information here real quick. It's the two Spike Chunsoft titles will be available together in one edition for $39.99. A limited edition was also announced for $59.99, which includes a 40-page art book, Monokuma sticker, Monokuma sunglasses, a Danganronpa coin, and 2-disc soundtrack.
That's a lot. That's bang for your buck right
Dude,
there.
Yeah.
companies, a lot of these like localization companies like NIS, Atlas, Axis Games, and Xseed, they do killer special editions at a good price.
Kelson, very random. What's your trophy level?
Oh, shoot. It's not very high. I haven't played that many games on my PS4. I think I'm 8, something like that.
8.
Yeah.
All right. Let's get to double digits.
All right, moving on to what I feel like, at least until yesterday, I felt like this is the most compelling news story, and there's a lot to it, so let's dive right in, gentlemen.
Okay.
Amazon Game Studios has their big coming out party.
Amazon, like,
.com. Yeah. You guys both looked a little surprised there.
I hadn't heard about that.
Okay, last Thursday, September 29th, Amazon Game Studios pulled back the curtain on their video games initiative and provided details on their first 3 projects via a live stream on Twitch. Very quick backstory on this. We have known that Amazon wanted to get involved in games to some degree, something like 2-ish, 3-ish years ago. They have bought the development studio behind Killer Instinct and Strider, Double Helix.
Okay.
And so, but I think a lot of people were just expecting them to make, like, I don't know, browser games, phone games, maybe stuff for like Amazon Fire TV or something like that. I don't think people were expecting what we got here.
Actual video game.
They announced, well, we'll get into that here. They gave a lot of the information I'm about to read is taken directly from AmazonGameStudios.com. Okay. And so this is their little who we are message. Amazon is all in on games. At Amazon Game Studios, we believe the evolution that began with arcade communities a quarter at a time, growing to the live streams and esports of today, will continue to a future where everyone is a gamer and every gamer can create, compete, collaborate, and connect with others at massive scales. Our games teams in Seattle and Irvine, California, are developing games that harness the power of AWS and Twitch to create bold new game experiences. They also bought Twitch a while ago. I forgot about that. That should have been the writing on
Really?
that. Yeah, Amazon owns Twitch.
Holy
This reminded me
shit.
of that. I think a lot of people overlooked that. I know I did.
Yeah.
So here are their first 3 games. The first one, this is kind of, they only gave a good look at one of them. The other 2 were announced with some details. The one they gave a good look of and had like a 10-minute live stream of is called Breakaway. Breakaway is a 4v4 mythological sports brawler built for fast action, teamwork, and live streaming. Assemble the optimal team from an expanding roster of legendary warriors, each with their own unique skills, weapons, and buildables, which are summonable structures that can be used to dynamically alter the arena and provide a new level of tactical depth. Fight for dominance across fabled locations such as El Dorado, Atlantis, and the River Styx as you engage in multiplayer competition to control the Relic, an artifact of immense power. Broadcast your feats utilizing a host of new Twitch features designed to make Breakaway as fun to watch as it is to play. This looks like esports the game, if I had to describe it.
It sounds like they're like, how can we take Rocket League, which has been such a huge success, and also add one of the MOBAs to it, specifically Fate, actually, is what it sounds like from the roster.
If I had to describe it, it looks like Rocket League meets Overwatch. Overleague. But you're trying to capture a ball in the middle and score it while they have these 4 different characters on each team with honestly a similar art style as Overwatch, and like they all have like their powers. Some of them shoot, some of them melee, and you fight over it. You can like kill each other, knock each other out of the game, and you can win by eliminating the whole team or win the round by scoring. Honestly, like I said, it looks like esports of the game, but it looks like it is a legit game. Like, it is not some little thing, but it's obviously targeted at the esports and streaming crowd too.
Oh yeah.
The next game is called New World. And here's the description. Carve your own destiny in New World, a massively multiplayer, open-ended sandbox game set in a living, cursed land. Choose how you play, what you do, and whom you work with or against in an evolving world that transforms with the reasons, weather, and time of day. Band together to reclaim monster-haunted wilds and build thriving civilizations, or strike out on your own, surviving in the face of supernatural terrors and murderous player bandits. Focused on emergent gameplay and rich social features, including deep Twitch integration and broadcaster-led events, achievements, and rewards, your only limit in the new world is your ambition.
So, Twitch the MMO.
Though this is like an MMO where you're founding a new land.
Right.
Basically, it's like you're settling America, like a supernatural America.
But what they mentioned about integrating Twitch and having broadcaster-led events, that seems really cool. I mean, hey, I'm broadcasting, so my audience can join in with me in this sense.
That's the common theme here across all their games. They had one more they announced, which honestly, to me, this is the most interesting sounding one.
Okay.
It's called Crucible. Crucible is a battle to the last survivor on a hostile alien world. Players choose and customize heroes, making alliances and betraying allies on their path to victory. An additional player heightens the drama by triggering events, live streaming the battles, and interacting with viewers. So it sounds like Hunger Games with a dungeon master.
That does sound awesome.
And this one is a third-person shooter action game. That's all we know about their 3 games: Breakaway, New World, and Crucible from Amazon Game Studios. 3 big games from Amazon Game Studios. Right now they're all confirmed for PC. No mention of console yet. We'll see where that goes. I feel like they probably will make it eventually. No release windows yet, but these strike me as the type of games that will be in eternal beta and early access and alphas before the official quote-unquote release. So
yeah.
I think Amazon and Google are in a battle to take over the world.
I think Google's winning.
Yeah.
Anything else to say about Amazon Game Studios? I think it's pretty nifty. Even if none of the games really cry out to me, I think it's awesome to see a big new publisher.
I'm excited. I'm big into watching Let's Plays and social gaming, and I like it. I'm excited. I think that some of these sound like they're going to require good continued management. Particularly the second one. I don't remember what you said. It was called. New World. I could see that one. If that doesn't have good continued support from the management team behind it, that could fall apart. But I see a lot of potential, and I'm excited.
Quick thought on New World. I feel like they're getting inspiration from Minecraft for that one. Just random thought I had.
No, 100%. I agree. Yeah.
Derek, anything to say about these? Any of those sound interesting to you?
They all sound interesting. We'll see more when more details come out about the games.
And for those of you curious, you can see some footage of Breakaway in particular on their website, AmazonGameStudios.com. Or it might be AmazonGames.com. I don't know. Google it. You'll find it. All right. Last news story of the day.
Okay.
A lot of new games were announced for Oculus alongside the Oculus Touch controllers, and these are all from significant studios.
Okay.
At today's Oculus, which was yesterday, today's Oculus Connect 3 event, 3 new games were announced. The first one is Robo Recall from Epic Games, the creators of Gears of War and Paragon. Robo Recall is an action-packed virtual reality first-person shooter with gratifying gameplay and an in-depth scoring system that takes full advantage of Oculus Touch controllers. In Robo Recall, players explore immersive environments in VR as they take on a variety of rogue robots and unlock an expanding arsenal of weapons. It is currently scheduled for early 2017 and will be free. I'm just going to say this about Robo Recall. It looks fucking awesome.
Okay.
I'm dead serious. Like, I haven't seen a VR game pique my interest until quite like this one. Derek, didn't you play Bulletstorm?
I played the demo for Bulletstorm.
This looks like Bulletstorm if it were made by Insomniac Games. It has a comic booky art style to it, and it's super lightning fast. And you can do funny things like catch a bullet and throw it back at the robots and stuff like that. It looks really cool. I implore everybody to check this one out. The second one was Arctica 1 from 4A Games, the creators of Metro 2033 and Metro Last Light. Arctica 1 is an immersive and action-packed first-person shooter designed to take full advantage of the Oculus Touch controller. Takes place in a post-apocalyptic future in a weird I did not type this well. in a world ravaged by a never-ending winter, players will face other survivors, scavengers, and nightmarish creatures as they struggle to survive in the frozen ruins of civilization. A lot of people are bummed this isn't a new Metro game, but hey,
we'll get over it.
Yeah.
New IP.
Yeah.
True story. The last game announced is Lone Echo from Ready at Dawn, the creators of Order 1886 and the God of War PSP titles. Described as an immersive adventure in a hands-on virtual world, it's a sci-fi game where you seem to play as some kind of drone on a space station that serves as a repair and combat unit. They showed a trailer, had some like first-person exploration puzzles, but they didn't really show much. I would describe that thing as a teaser. I believe is what the kids call it these days.
I want to see them get another shot at the Order.
I highly doubt they're going to.
I agree, but I think they deserve a second chance with that because I had so much potential. I think it under-delivered.
Yeah, potential is the right word.
I think it under-delivered like severely. I agree with most people, but I still enjoyed the time I had with it.
There were things to like about it.
Yeah.
That's for sure. They do have 2 other games in development. One is Deformers, that kind of party game we play. That looks fun as hell, by the way. Does. And then an unannounced, I think it's been confirmed to be a AAA new IP. So no Order. Right. Sorry, Durka.
Oh, no, that's fine. I just think they deserve a second shot.
Mm-hmm. And Oculus Touch controllers were officially dated for December 6th. Pre-orders go live on October 10th. They will be priced at $200 for a pair. People who pre-order will receive 2 free games, VR Sports and the first-person dueling wizard game The Unspoken from Insomniac Games.
So, I've noticed you've been saying first-person a lot.
Yeah.
And just to clarify, isn't every VR game first-person? Isn't that sort of the thing?
Not all of them. Edge of Nowhere from Insomniac is kind of like an adventure horror game where it's third-person. I think the whole point is like you can kind of like see the horrible things like creeping on you. But create a sense of like
a third-person VR game doesn't make sense.
Wait, so you see the person?
Yeah, I believe you see the character you're controlling.
That's weird.
I think the whole thing it has like a whole like Lovecraft like Cthulhu type thing going on, so you can like see things like off in the darkness and like above you.
Well, sure.
I don't know.
It's
a horror game.
Yeah,
came out in June, I think.
Horror games are actually I think the #1 market for VR.
Yeah,
but it's a third person.
That one it was anyway.
These are all my mind a little, but
these are all first person. I think at some point these games are looking. I will say I think they're looking a little too samey. A lot of these games, they're all sci-fi and they all involve shooting shit.
On rails?
I don't know. There's no mention of that. I did see some images of the Oculus Touch controllers, and they do have picture like a more ergonomic kind of move controller.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
So but they do have control sticks.
I believe so, yes. And I don't know if I would like them to be on rails or what. You know what I mean? It's kind of...
I wouldn't.
I don't like on rails games, but in VR, I feel like they should be.
I think that they should start there, because I think that you need to master the shooting in VR before you create the whole... Like, I think an on-rails shooter game gives you the opportunity to focus on the shooting.
Yeah.
And then once you, as a development studio, have mastered VR shooting, then go free roam. Is that the opposite of on rails?
It works. The description works.
Yeah, I don't know what the
then go free roam.
I will say Robo Recall was by far the most interesting looking one there, in my opinion.
Okay.
Looked pretty nifty.
Speaking of Robo, 100-foot robot golf.
Oh yeah, that's out next week.
Yeah, got that pre-ordered.
That's out next week along with all the other VR games. But that one is PS4 as well, in addition to VR.
Makes me happy.
Yeah, so is Thumper.
Ooh, doctor.
Kelson, have you seen Thumper?
No.
Man, how have you not seen that?
Well, I will look into
Derek,
it.
would you like to describe it to our listeners and the non-believer over here?
The non-believer. Oh, man. X-Harmonix guys, correct?
Correct. They're called Drool, which is a nifty little name.
I really don't know how to properly describe it. Like it's not necessarily a music game, more of a rhythm game.
Okay.
I think they use the term rhythm violence.
That's actually spot the fuck on.
Yeah.
I think that's all I want to know before I look into it more myself. Rhythm
Plays
violence,
a
that's
beetle,
awesome.
right?
You play as like a shiny glowing beetle on a track, and it creates a sense of speed like F-Zero or something like that, and like you have like little obstacles you have to clear like with the different commands.
Wow.
Incredible music, incredible visuals. We played it at PSX last year, and I think we all walked away. Maybe that was probably our most impressive demo.
I remember
of everything we played.
I remember you were telling me like on the show for like, oh man, you go play Thumper, dude. Go play Thumper. Like, no, fuck that. I'm gonna go play this other game. And then I eventually went over there and I was like, oh shit,
Yeah.
Thumper, dude.
It's phenomenal, and I think right now it might be the highest rated of the early PSVR games.
Wow.
You don't need VR to play it.
Is that coming out like launch VR or is it what's the date on that?
It's coming out October 13th.
13th. Ooh.
That's a week from yesterday.
Man, I'm gonna have a busy week next week.
Yeah, there you go.
Like Tomb Raider. Rise of the Tomb Raider.
Rise.
Rise. Rise of the Tomb Raider, Thumper, and 100 Foot Robot Golf.
That's a good week.
That is a damn good birthday week.
You need to tell your lady friend that you're sick.
Well, she's listening now. She knows.
Guilty.
Yeah.
Sorry, Derek.
No, it's okay. It's all good.
I remember I talked to a couple IGN guys at PSX about Thumper. I bumped into, I think, Marty.
Sean and
There was Marty Sleva and I think Scott Lowe, who actually
Okay.
works for Naughty Dog now.
Yeah.
I think I took pictures with them. I'm like, guys, seriously, if you haven't checked it out, check out Thumper. Marty's like, oh fuck yeah, it's awesome. And so that was really cool. All right.
So is that it for our news?
But we can check out some. Let me grab my list here. Quick rundown of what's out this week.
Okay.
Ow. Elbow. All right. A quick rundown. Origami. It's a stealth game for Windows PC and PlayStation 4. Necropolis, some free-to-play action game from Bandai Namco for PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. This is funny. Rocksmith 2014 edition remastered.
What? Remastered.
So it's not the 2016 edition.
It's remastered.
They remastered the one from 2 years ago.
For PC, PS4, and Xbox One.
What exactly?
To be fair,
That's that game that's supposed to like actually teach you how to really play
Well,
guitar.
I know what it
Yeah.
is, but like, how is it remastered? Like, I don't understand.
Probably
it could
just-
be 2014 was early enough in the PS4 Xbox One life cycle. It might have actually been a PS3 release. Xbox 360.
It wasn't on all of them.
It was okay.
I remember
don't know.
seeing it at Best Buy because nobody bought it.
Next
I
game.
don't
Next
know.
game.
Indie platformer Shu for PC and PS4.
Shuhei?
No, I'm afraid not.
Oh,
I would play a game based on Shuhei Yoshida.
I love you, Shuhei.
2D colorful brawler, side-scrolling brawler in the Viking Squad for PC, PlayStation 4. Looks a lot like Castle Crashers and stuff like that. So, Warhammer End Times Vermintide for PlayStation 4, Xbox One. Game called Butcher for PC. I have no idea what the fuck that is.
It's a Cooking Mama spin-off.
Slain Back from Hell, which is like a 2D heavy metal action game from.
I'm sure that's right up your alley.
It's coming to Xbox One.
Hell yeah.
There's a lot to play right now, or else I would play it. I'll probably get to it eventually. Let's see. The Silver Case remastered for PC. That is an old adventure game from the creator from Suda51, creator of No More
okay.
Heroes and everything.
All right.
Kelson, you had a game you wanted to name drop.
Sister Location, the Five Nights at Freddy's game, came out today as we're recording
For PC.
for PC.
And then World Rally Championship 6, PC, PlayStation 4, Xbox One. Mafia 3, PC, PlayStation 4, Xbox One. And Paper Mario Color Splash for Wii U. Which is supposed to actually be really good. A lot of people were skeptical of this one.
The Paper Mario games have largely been great. I did not enjoy Sticker Star,
I don't think anyone did.
but Super Paper Mario and Paper Mario and the Thousand Year Door, I never played the original on N64, and I wish I had. That might be on Virtual Console.
Yeah,
I might
probably.
have to look into that.
Probably is.
But sometime when I have time. But yeah, the other 2 Paper Mario games that I played so good.
Did either of you play Killer 7?
No, but it's a cult classic.
Yes. Does that have any sequels or any other
No,
games? Just a one-off?
Almost all of Suda's games are one-offs.
Okay.
The only one I know for sure that has a sequel is No More Heroes. If you like Killer 7's a shooter though, right?
I don't know. I don't know why that popped in my head. Like,
Because
we're
it's a
talking
Suda
about like
51
Nintendo,
game.
and I'm like, oh, I have a Wii U. Oh, Killer 7. Like, just fucking randomly popped in my head.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, I wonder if that's on Virtual Console. So
I
can play.
Did it come out on GameCube?
I think so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a GameCube game.
I gotcha. Okay.
And then I remember thinking of the X-Play review.
Oh,
they did back on G4.
throwback.
Yeah, I was like, oh man, that episode of X-Play. Anyway, yeah, I'll try and check that on Virtual Console if it's on there.
Right on. That is it for the news and the new releases.
All right.
So we're gonna swing it over to Kelson, aka Zach, nickname Zach.
There we go.
Topic of the week.
So this week we want to talk about indie games. We're not going to go into any sort of we're going to keep it broad. We're going to say basically whatever we want about indie games.
They fucking suck. They're not real games. Just kidding.
Says the guy that's
Yeah.
an indie developer.
So this is the
Lols.
This is the Vespertine Studios podcast, Gamescast, and Vespertine Studios is the 2 gentlemen to my right. Or it's Zach and Derek. You can't see that they're to my right because we're not filming this.
Yeah, they got it.
But
We're indie developers.
yeah, they're
That's
working
what
on
we're
a game
getting
right
at.
now. And well, let's start there. What has indie development been like so far?
Oh man, it fucking sucks. Like it does, dude. Oh, I don't like. If I was doing this full time, then I think it would.
We would have shipped that fucker months ago,
Yeah,
probably.
Oh, definitely. I'm not gonna say it would be easier, but having more time would be significantly helpful. It's tough working a full-time job and developing a game
And recording podcasts.
and doing podcasts. Like it's
And
I mean,
trying
it's
to maintain
fun.
a social life.
Yeah, it's fun. It's just very hard. Like coming into this, when we first decided to do this, I knew it was going to be tough, but at the same time, I didn't know how tough.
Mm-hmm.
And now that I'm actually doing it, it's tough. It's fun though. It's not like so tough where I'm like, oh man, screw this. I'm just gonna stop. Like,
A rewarding challenge.
yeah, exactly.
Like Bloodborne and Dark
Ooh,
Souls.
There you go.
Awesome.
I'll say a little more about that. Let me just say that Derek is the real MVP of Vespertine right now. Let me explain, he is in traditional game development terminology, he would be the programmer and engineer, I believe, is describing what he does. He's the one working in Unity, actually building the game and making it what it is and fulfilling the vision. I feel a little bad because other than like art and production, I can't contribite much.
Why do you need to feel bad about that?
I mean,
we each have our own skill set.
That's true.
So.
And so, I don't know, I still feel bad because like my contribution to the project, I don't want to say ended months ago, but like I did build the assets that you're using, and we worked together to formulate the idea and figure out how it works.
I would give you a little more credit than what you're given, because like I'm not going to say I'm not creative. Like I can be creative, but
Absolutely.
These ideas have been yours.
Thanks.
So we've been working together.
Mm-hmm. And it's been a very disorganized thing too, but you know what? We figured out what the game was. We figured out how to make it a reality, and just one step at a time from here.
Yeah, and like I said before, it's tough, but like we're just getting started. It's not going to be a one and done thing. I can promise you that.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
It's called Spectrum, by the way. It's the game we're developing for mobile. We won't say anything more than that.
Yeah. look forward to that. Look for it when it comes out. I'm sure if you want more announcements and updates on the game, if you're going to find them anywhere, it's going to be here, and the Twitter that you can, if you're watching this on YouTube, you can see that in the...
Follow all of us. We're pretty cool. Yeah. I tweet about Chipotle and politics a lot, so sorry about that.
I don't really use my personal Twitter very much. I tweet for our other podcast, Tap That Wrestling. Anyway, back to indie games. We've all played some indie games. What have been some of your favorites, and why? Zach?
Before we dive into favorite indie games, can we just take a moment to appreciate how far they've come?
Absolutely.
Big time.
We still are not that far removed from the widespread attitude that indie games are somehow lesser experiences or lesser games than what you buy at retail for $60. I wasn't that long ago where major websites had like end of the year awards. They would have like best downloadable game category. And now indie games and downloadable games are in just like the normal category. People finally got over that little stigma for some reason, which I'm not entirely sure why existed, but at the same time, even the great early indie games were still simple graphics, simple in concept. They were just brilliant execution. And so they kind of did seem, especially in like 2008, like when Braid came out, compare that to the big games that came out that year, like Fallout 3, Metal Gear Solid 4, Gears of War 2, Little Big Planet, and then you look at Braid, as brilliant as it was. I know you are a huge fan, Kelson. It's kind of understandable why people looked at them. It's like, why would I play those when I can play those?
Now that said, it is impressive how far they've come in a short time. But I don't want people thinking that there isn't still, especially actually with indie industry. There's still indie games are still sort of overlooked by many. I'm going to be paraphrasing here, but I watch a lot of gaming videos on YouTube, primarily Let's Plays, but I also follow the channel Game Theorists with Matthew Patrick, or Matt Pat, and he's gotten so big, he's had the opportunity to do a lot of cool things, including speaking at industry conferences.
That's awesome.
And in one, he was giving a presentation, I don't know if it was so much a presentation as more of a fun speech panel. But he was talking about indie games, particularly Five Nights at Freddy's, which has been a very big franchise, particularly on YouTube, for YouTube gamers like Matt Pat. And in this room, he said of about 100 industry professionals, only like 5 hands went up that they had heard of it. And none of us have played it. I'm the only one who I think really has looked into it a lot. But we had all heard of it before tonight.
Yeah, there's merchandise
in Hot Topic.
Yeah, a lot of places.
And it just blows my mind that
when was this conference?
Earlier this year, I believe.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Unfortunately, I didn't have the. I thought of this earlier today and was like, oh, I need to find that video, but I was also working on other things and didn't have the time to do it before this podcast. So I can't provide. Maybe I will. Send a link so that the Vespertine Twitter can link out to that video later. After we release the podcast, of course. Yeah. But yeah, I watched this video. It can't have been more than 3 months ago, where he talks about the fact that he had presented at this conference and had seen so few hands.
But kind of back to what we were talking about, indie games have slowly but surely crawled out of that hole they were in. And, it started off simple, like Braid, Limbo, Castle Crashers, and then slowly but surely, they became ever more prevalent. Like, a lot of the mid-tier publishers and developers went out of business last generation. Midway is gone. Eidos got bought out by Square Enix. Studios like Factor 5, the creators of Rogue Squadron, went under. And then that's, I think, played a big role in where we saw the rise of indie games, because not everybody could or wanted to work at those big AAA studios, and so they all started forming these small, tight-knit teams. And so they have now, I would say, probably represent a greater portion of the industry than the retail.
Oh, yeah.
Probably 60-40 at this point, maybe more than that.
Yeah. Though I don't know if that Like in games produced, it might be those numbers, though. I'm guessing in sales, the big
Oh,
studios are still
yeah.
Fun.
indies.
I mean, yeah, definitely. But you got to remember, Minecraft is an indie game.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
Minecraft.
Technically not anymore because it's owned by Microsoft.
But it was
But
released
at the
as an
time,
indie
yeah.
game.
Yeah, I think the big turning point for them came towards the end of last generation and the beginning of this generation. Like Microsoft and Sony recognized how big and how respected indie games were becoming, and so they made a very conscious effort to make it easy for indie developers this generation to make games and publish games. And I think that has created kind of like this new Wild West of video games where like there's so many different kinds of games coming out, super creative games, throwback games, innovative games, stuff that you don't get much of anywhere else. You're not going to get a game like Inside from, what's the developer? They made Limbo. What's the developer's name? Anyone?
I don't know off the top of my head.
Shit. Playdead. That's it.
There it is.
And like The Witness, like these games are masterpieces, but I doubt any of the big publishers would have touched them to publish them.
Because they can't afford to take the same kind of risks that indie studios can and have to.
They make tremendous games with small teams and on realistic budgets with realistic expectations. I think, who was it? Dodge Roll earlier this year, who released Enter the Gungeon. Great game, by the way. They were like popping champagne when their game sold like 200,000 units, which is, that would be a remarkable success.
Yeah.
I would be thrilled if our game sells 500 units.
my realistic goal is 300, and I'm like, I would be happy.
And one more thing, kind of talking about indie games, kind of how they affect the industry. I feel like the definition of indie game has blurred a lot in the past few years.
Sure.
And let me explain why. Indie game used to mean truly independent, lack of a publisher involved. But now we have publishers that are reaching out with these small little teams and studios to make indie games where they're just like kind of giving them some funding and some releasing, like helping publish them. Examples are like Sony did last generation with games like Journey and The Unfinished Swan, and Microsoft did that too. We have dedicated indie publishers now, like Devolver Digital. 505 has been doing a lot lately. There's another big one, Adult Swim Games. And so, like, technically they're not independent if there's a publisher involved. And so I feel like the definition and perception of indie game has shifted from truly independent to being a small-scale project.
Yeah, I can see that. I agree with that.
Because, like, you'll see people referring to a game like Resogun as an indie game, but I mean that is owned and published by Sony Interactive Entertainment, but at the same time it fits the common perception of an indie game. Ubisoft did this a couple years ago with Child of Light and Valiant Hearts: The Great War. Very nice, artistic, very indie-ish games, but they were made by one of the single biggest publishers on earth.
Yeah.
And so I think when we think indie,
we think small.
It's small. It's probably the better way to go now.
More accurate way.
Probably more accurate now. It's a better way to describe them these days.
I'm personally a guy who loves to see those risks taken, and the smaller projects with smaller budgets allow, especially because they're now being backed by publishers, allow those publishers to take those risks. And I'm excited to see what these smaller projects that may not technically actually be indie anymore, but are clearly inspired by the truly independent games of the past few years, how they continue to revolutionize the industry and bring us new stories in new ways and new ideas. I'm pumped.
I think we're playing it a little safe with this first one, kind of just dipping our toes in the water, seeing what we can do. But then once we actually finish this one, take a bigger step forward, I think.
Absolutely. Derek, you remember how just a few years ago we had that attitude, like that kind of stigma toward indie games? It really wasn't that long ago.
Yeah. just the whole like, oh, if it's not $60, it's not a real game.
Well, I remember you were all over Super Stardust HD back in the day.
I still am. What are you talking about?
Fantastic games, and I remember you're like, you should get this. And I remember like, a little downloadable arcade game. You know what I mean? Yeah. Of course, and then I played games from Housemarque, and I was like, this is amazing. Mm-hmm. All right, you wanted to talk a bit about our favorite indie games, Kelson.
Briefly, yeah.
Okay.
Secret Ponchos.
Really?
Yes.
I remember.
Well, I wouldn't say my favorite, but I think when that came out, I was super hyped and nobody else was. Even for like a couple months after I was still playing it, and I was just like, all right, where's my friends? Oh, wait.
Didn't we first see that at E3 2013 in that little section where they had all the indie developers come on stage?
Yes, that's correct.
And I remember we were looking, I'm like, oh, that looks cool. And I remember you just were like, we're glued to the screen at Secret Ponchos.
Yeah, dude, it was a lot of fun. I haven't played it in quite a while. But when I did play it, I had a lot of fun with it. I mean, I feel like if I would dive back in now, that there'd only be like maybe 5 or 6 people playing.
Yeah.
But
tragic.
Yeah.
Kelson?
So an independent game would be a game without a publisher or without that back funding. So my favorite indie game I've played, the thing that's sticking in my head is actually a browser game that you can just fire up and play, and it's called
Candy Stand Arcade?
It is not. It's called I Saw Her Standing There, I think. And it's this very simple little platformer, but it's just got this nice artistic touch that I really enjoy. Plus zombies, you know.
Zambies?
Either that or Braid. Like, I haven't played Braid in years, but it was mind-blowing. There were these secret stars in the game that I didn't find out about until like 2 years later because they are so hard to get to and so obscurely hidden. There's one, you have to stand in the stage for 2 hours for the slowest moving flying platform to show up on screen so that you can jump on it and then rewind time to get to a hidden place in the stage. Yeah, it was... No, I mean, what you do is you put it on there, and then you go watch a movie or something, and then you come back. But
what if you miss it?
Oh man!
if you
break the console
because of how Braid's mechanics works. If you miss it, you can rewind time and bring it back, and it'll come back much quicker.
Yeah. Now, have you played The Witness? Because that's the same developer, Jonathan Blow.
I am not.
That is a very large puzzle game. Beautiful.
I believe I've heard of it. I definitely should look into it.
You should absolutely look into it. It's a masterclass.
All right. I think it's your turn.
I would say it wasn't the first indie game I played, but the indie game I kind of described as popping my indie cherry was still one of my absolute favorite games of the generation so far, The Swapper.
Oh, man.
I haven't heard of it.
That one slipped my mind somehow. Holy shit.
What a game. Kelson, The Swapper is a 2D, very atmospheric and stylish puzzler, a little bit of platforming, where the main mechanic is you have this gun you can fire to create clones of yourself that move in the same way and same direction you do.
Sweet.
And you have to just solve a bunch of puzzles, all while navigating like an abandoned space station with a really very kind of creepy but very compelling narrative of like these sentient alien rocks.
That's awesome.
And it's I don't no idea what happened to the developer after this one, but this game is remarkable. It came to I played on PlayStation 4 in early 2014.
Yeah.
What an amazing game. Though I will say there are a couple puzzles that I had to YouTube, but for the most part, the puzzles are not that brutal. Like, they're challenging, but they aren't the type of thing where you rack your brain for an hour. You know what I mean?
That shit makes you think, like, hard.
So challenging and satisfying without being punished.
It doesn't piss you off. It's not frustrating. But, man, what a great game.
All right.
And then shout out to Transistor from Supergiant.
God, another one I forgot. I just wanted to jump on Secret Poncho so fast.
Yeah. Hey, man, if you like it, you like it. But Transistor's an amazing game. That studio, Supergiant, also created Bastion. They are something else. Coming next year, one of my most anticipated games is from them. It's called Pyre. Be on the lookout for it.
Okay.
Did you all play the Velocity games?
I did. I wasn't too hot on Velocity 2X. I recognize it's a really awesome game, but I didn't love it too much. I just can't really explain why I didn't click.
I played the shit out of the first one on Vita, and I haven't finished the second one on PS4. I know about like 3/4.
Yeah. 3/4 home.
Oh.
That reference to another indie game that I haven't played. There are more indie games, but I'm trying to see. Rocket League's an indie game.
I didn't know that.
Shit.
Yeah, it's 100% an indie game.
Cool.
It was developed and released by Psyonix. Trying to think of some others. See, there's pop into my brain. Axiom Verge. Great game. Throwback to like Super Mario, some Super Metroid.
Okay.
That's a great game. Guacamelee is an indie game.
Star Wall?
Star Wall's an indie game. Star Wall's not one of my favorites. It's great. It's a great
it's
party
so
game.
much fun.
It's a great party game.
Fun.
Sound Shapes?
Yeah, that's an indie game. That was a Santa Monica collaboration, but still, I'd count that.
Love that game.
I think that was made by like one person.
Triple platinum that.
Well, in addition to Santa Monica's kind of giving some assistance. Yeah. There are honestly, we could sit here all day and think of great indie games that we played. I'm trying to think if there are any remarkable ones that came out this year in particular. Into the Gungeon, that's a great game.
At a point, you were saying that was your game of the year.
At the time, it was. In March, that was hands down my favorite game I played to that point. Such a phenomenal game. So
is that it, gentlemen? We're gonna wrap it up for the week.
Indie games are cool, guys. Really cool.
Final thoughts, Kelsey?
I'm gonna have to agree. Indie games are pretty fucking phenomenal.
Are there any indie games on the horizon that you really want to check out?
Thumper.
100-Foot Robot Golf for you?
Yes, absolutely. And that's actually very recent. Next week.
Yeah, those are both next week. Anything else pop into your brain?
No.
Tumblestone on sale.
Yeah. Oh, don't get me started on that. I had so much fun with that at PSX, and then that price point, I'm just like, that is not
what you want to pay for it.
Yeah.
I'm really excited for this game called Spectrum from this little, really small studio, Vespertine.
So you're telling me to hurry the fuck up with this program?
Yeah.
Oh man, no, we'll get that. We're gonna have something at least.
We'll have something
testing wise, something that people can play. Beta, some beta shit for us.
Yeah. Ukulele is a indie game coming up that I'm looking forward to. Pyre already made name dropped. And those are the big two that come to mind immediately. So,
all right, we'll wrap it up for this week. Ladies and gentlemen, we thank you for joining us for week 2 of the Vespertine Gamescast. Like, subscribe, share, all that fun stuff. Follow us on Twitter. Any final words, guys?
I'm a little hungry.
Me too, actually.
Well, I guess we should get out of here so we can get you some food.
Ooh, good idea. All right, we'll see y'all next week.